My name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. If ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can interact with others on this episode, past others. Use the contact form to email me directly. And of course, if you're already on YouTube, post your comments down below. And if you want to make the show better, go to patreon.com/tqaweekly. All the information is in the description below on YouTube or on the show notes page at tqaweekly.com/SE6EP27. And today's topic is all about bad drivers. I have gone through a few annoyance types episodes, but today we're going to talk about something that actually annoys a lot more people. For as long as computers will be a thing, so will drivers. Keep this in mind. Best practice is normally for us to do all of our updates to our computer, make sure we install everything so that our computer is as stable as possible, as safe as possible, which means drivers, applications, antivirus, spyware, everything needs to be updated. This is, for all intensive purposes, the reason why viruses don't necessarily hold as hard onto computers, and which is why the resulting viruses that come out actually end up being so extreme. But here's one of the things. Updating drivers is kind of like playing poker. So, let's talk about this for a minute. We're typically told to update our drivers. I want you to keep in mind there are a few different types of drivers out there. You have what are known as beta drivers, which I seriously suggest you do not use. You have WQHL drivers, which are supposed to be Windows certified, but somehow some companies have figured out some way to pass them at extremely high rates. And then we also have the other kinds of uncertified drivers, which Windows 10 typically tries to stay away from, so probably wouldn't work. So if you're using a WQHL driver, the theory is that it should work flawlessly. Well, here's the thing. If you read anything or listened to my last week's episode, then you will know that I am annoyed as shit when it comes to Windows 10 and the way that certain drivers actually reset various things inside my computer's experience, specifically NVIDIA, which we're going to be talking about again today. So it resets every single time I SLI configuration, which means I have to do a clean install to remember to actually put all my information for my SLI, which is actually written down. Their latest driver that's accessible to my computer on Windows 10 using two 970 GTX 970s from NVIDIA. We're talking about the Strix Edition ones. The latest one is 364.51, and it causes a triple gray screen of various different grades of color, but still causes a computer to basically lock up even the reset button doesn't work. I don't know what the relation with the reset button and the graphics card is, but then again, who gives a damn? I don't want you to panic when this happens. I just want you to figure out what's going on. First, determine if it's a fluke. If it had only happened once, I wouldn't be making an episode about this. So what ended up happening is it kept happening and it kept happening faster. Well, it's the last thing that I actually installed on my computer. I know this is going to be something related to the graphics driver because Windows crashing causes your screen to go blue or black with error numbers and file IDs and whatever, which of course, if you're going to send me an email about a computer crashing, please take pictures of these things. They're very useful. But those have information, whereas a graphics card just outright drops the screen. So, since I could figure out it wasn't my screen since I have 3, and I could figure out it's not the cable because I have 3, and I could figure out very easily that it was not the necessary technology behind the cable because I have 2 different types of connections, then I could easily figure out it's the graphics card or something to do with the graphics cards. I have more than one. It was doing the same error for both, so it was basically the driver. So, here are ways that you can actually solve problems with any kind of drivers in your computer. If you wanted to, you can go to the device manager, select the device that is causing the issues, and go into the properties and select the option to roll back the driver. It's in that menu. You could also uninstall the driver and install a previous stable driver that you know was stable if you just did the update. If you're having trouble doing the updates of those kinds of stuff because, I don't know, they just don't want to actually listen, you can try removing the device in question if it's an add-on or a USB card, uninstall its driver, and then just connect it back on there and reinstall an older driver, or you can disable it in the BIOS if it's actually something that's soldered to the board, then uninstall its particular driver and do the same thing again. Re-enable it and install its driver again. This should allow you to regain control over your computer and fix the hardware with stable drivers. However, there are some other things that you might want to consider as well. If you're doing it with a graphics card driver, whether it be AMD or NVIDIA, you might actually have to go to the Add Remove option of Windows and remove the actual graphics card drivers from the computer as well as all their companion applications at the same time. Now, because specific sound and video drivers do remain resident in your computer, you will also have to reset your computer. So restart your computer. You don't have much of a choice because a lot of the information is still stored in the RAM. So uninstall those and restart your computer and try again. And here's an extra tip that might be useful to a few of you. If Windows does crash often enough in quick succession, it will go into safe mode by itself. Once in safe mode, you will be able to remove all of the graphics drivers and everything actually affecting your computer, simply because safe mode doesn't load those drivers to begin with. It uses default generic drivers, which is why it looks so different when you're inside safe mode. And then again, of course, restart the computer, install the latest stable driver. So if you were using the latest certified driver, which by the way, if anybody from Windows or whatever other company is listening, when you are trying to certify for WQHL tests, don't cheat, because that means that test is now worthless. So you go to the previous driver that worked for your computer. Their certification doesn't mean anything if that is the driver that crashed your computer. So install previous stable drivers in this case. Avoid beta drivers as much as possible unless you have a test bench like I do. Test benches are made for tests. Your daily rig, your machine that you use to do your daily tasks, should not have beta software in it. That kind of software can cause your computer to be unstable. Needless to say, do not panic, uninstall, and don't worry about it. Most of these driver bugs will not harm your physical hardware, and if they do, trust me, there will be a class action lawsuit, any series of RMAs to the manufacturer for cheating on a test. Like this episode if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Make sure you leave a comment, question, or suggestion for a topic down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day and goodbye. And for those who didn't already know this, I'll be putting an annotation or some sort of link somewhere in the show of me playing Batman Arkham Knight. So have fun.